So how you doing, Ty?
I'm doing good.
My name is Heath Hurdle. I will be giving you some help today. I will be the counselor talking to you today. I want you to also know that anything that is said in this room will stay in this room. I want you to know that I do have a pen and paper just documenting several things because I want to be able to, go back and pinpoint some things that we talk about today.
Okay.
Obviously, Coach Curry did send me over your file. He also did tell me that he told you that he wanted you to come talk to me. And I just want to pick your brain a little bit, just let you know that I'm obviously here to help you. And this meeting is our sole purpose is to basically just see what the problem is, and our plan is how can we move forward and to see what's really going on. So with that being said, why are you here today to see me?
I'm here to talk more so about my issues with my biological father.
Okay.
Me and him have not been on a great path in the last maybe eight plus years.
Okay.
And so I just came to conclusion as if like I don't want nothing to do with him at all whatsoever. I just want to be my own man, be my own person without him playing any type of role. But recently he made a phone call that kind of disturbed me because the last conversation we had, it didn't end well to a point where he knows better not to even contact me at all whatsoever.
Right.
So because that he made that move and contacted somebody that was close to me, it frustrated me and it had me reminiscing about if any other goals that I had on top of my
And you can slow down too.
okay.
You take your time.
Any goals that I had that I wanted to take care of, I feel as if what's the right way to say it? I feel as if I fail it, I'm in his shoes all over again. It don't matter what type of goal it is. It could be about a class, it could be a play on the field. It's just any little thing. And so I realized that I've beat myself a little bit too much, and sometimes because I go through that stage, I do get very emotional about it, and it just becomes so frustrating to a point where it's not even playing football and trying to hit somebody is not even solving that case of like getting that anger over with.
Right.
I really don't know how to more so like control it, but recently for my birthday, I think yesterday, I actually went to breakfast with my mom and I actually took a walk on the lakefront and just talked about all the goals that I want to do and make sure that I take care of it. And so after I wrote that on a piece of paper, I also wrote another piece of paper where all the things that I want to just get rid of or I refuse to do. And so in that list, I said I refuse to be the man that my father was. I refuse to be labeled by anybody. I also refuse to not give up on the ones that chose to support me. And I forgot the last note, but at the end of that, I also folded it up as tight as I could do it. And then I just threw it in the water in front of the lakefront, just to remind myself like this is a new chapter, and just gotta just step on, keep going through it. So this is day one after doing that, and I did feel a little frustrated just because of reality coming back to me as far as school and everybody's just all in my face as far as you have to do this, you have to do that, and it's just still like even though I did do this.
And I don't mean to interrupt you,
Okay, you're fine.
but right now what I'm hearing is, and all these things are great, which is why I'm writing them down and documenting them, because I see where you're trying to go and I see the path that I want to take with you, but I want you to understand that these things are, they're very much so in reach, but they're scattered.
Yeah.
And when we have scattered things in our brain, we don't have a good balance to reach those things. So what I want to talk to you about is how can we, because you wrote down your goals. I'm a list person myself. I like writing down things because it's concrete then. You can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it. But at the same time, we do want to work through these emotions before we go try to attack that. So I did hear you say that, you went through some things on your birthday and the days previous before. Now all of a sudden you're trying to transition to where this is a new start, day one fresh. Now, do you think that you were able to, work through all those feelings?
I feel as if I can just focus on one situation that how I will react in that with my feelings.
Right.
Just one day at a time to focus on how I tackle that situation. And today at practice. I actually did. I do have a couple other issues with people saying things that try to get under my skin, and more so it's not that they get under my skin. It's more so me. I'm frustrated that I have to hold my tongue. That's what frustrates me. So today I just used a simple word of like, these things just don't move me, to just not react in the way that I wanted to react, versus saying.
And I like that you said that, because it's almost sort of like an affirmation that's saying, obviously these things don't move me. But at the same time, I want to bring something to your attention that I want to go back to square one.
Okay.
So you equated failing to your father.
Right.
You feel me? But what we're saying now is that you are your own man, you're your own person. So I want you to understand that these things that your father has done in the past, they don't reflect on you. Although he is your biological father, he still has his own life, his own path, and so do you. So I don't want you to pretty much say, oh, failure, oh, I'm like my father. Because that puts us back in a state where we are not thinking straight, where we're automatically saying, I'm a failure and this is what I've done. And you're trying to put yourself on this pedestal where, hey, look, you're not your father. You're not his mistakes. He is not your mistakes. What he does on a daily basis cannot affect what you do now in your life as a grown man. And I understand there are certain frustrations, because we are human and we do go through these processes where we think, oh man, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing as much as I can. But I want you to understand that these things take time, and it has to be a one day at a time. You can't tackle everything. Like I said, I've heard you say you're scattered around with your goals and you refusing to do certain things. Well, with that being said, we have to make certain lists, or we have to make a certain concept in our mind where, okay, here, this is what I'm going to handle today. Okay, this is what I'm going to handle the next day. So where you are saying you're a goal-oriented person, I think what we should do is set one goal each day to get better at, rather than trying to tackle everything and just say, you know what, this is an automatically new chapter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what you have to do is, in my opinion, and we can do whatever you want to do as well too, and you can give me ideas, we can bounce off each other's, but I think that you should wake up every day with a new beginning of saying, you know what, I'm going to get better at this today, rather than saying I'm going to fix everything in my life. Because we can't fix everything at one time. We got to be able to work through different things, whether it's emotionally, socially, physically, or mentally. These are the things that we have to take pride on, because that's our well-being, that's our self-care. And without you being healthy and and without you being mindful of your well-being, you won't be able to accomplish these goals.
Right.
So obviously blocking any negativity is something that we always want to do, because we don't want it to throw off our vibe, and we want to go throughout life having good days. But we also know that we are human and things happen, and you can't control those things. So I think the biggest thing is too, we have to move our energy and our mindset forward to, I can only control what I can control. With that being said, you can only control what you do in school, what you do in football, what you do in life, who you allow to be in your life, the things that you allow to be in your daily space. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that I want to work on with you, because creating these goals, they will be something that is really beneficial for you, and it will help me, because now we can do those check-ins. Hey, Ty, how'd today go?
Right.
How did this day go? And I will also suggest having a journal.
Okay.
Because having a journal allows you to write down, like, hey, you know what? Today was a struggle, but I'm going to attack it the next day. Because at this point, we want to be able to grow, and we want to move forward at your pace, because this is your life. This is something that you are dealing with, and this is something that you want to go on and have the right tools to get better in life, to be successful. So I would say, first and foremost, let's try our best to leave what your father did in the past, because that is a past thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that you should be able to try our best to move forward, and that I'm your resource. I'm here to help you. And anytime you need to, talk, and we can do those things, because obviously I know this is easier said than done, and it's not going to happen in one day, right? So by us making these goals and making this list and showing like, hey, I'm going to tackle this today, I think that moves us in a better direction, and it gets us further along the line of saying, you know what, hey, I'm doing good. I'm in a good space right now, and I'm doing things for me rather than for my father, or to cover up his failures, because we can't control those things. And that's his life. Now, as far as football and anything else, I think it's a time and a place for everything. Why don't we try to make it to where when we're in football, we're worrying about football. And the minute that we step off that field, then we're done with football. I think this will eliminate some frustration because now you won't have the weight of the world on your shoulders with your mental, with football and your personal life. Right. Because each thing has a section, believe it or not. And we want to be able to try to section those things off because at that point we can know what to give energy to and what not to give energy to. Mm-hmm. So I think by doing that, it allows us to clear a headspace a little bit because now once we get back to our safe haven, whether that be your room or, whatever you like to do to get you back on your square, I think that'll help us and we'll get further along in our process of becoming, more successful of accomplishing these goals. So with that being said, I'm going to give you a couple tasks for the next time that we come in and talk about what's going on in your life. So what's going to happen is I want you to create a list of goals and I want you to come almost like pick it out of a hat. Okay, today I'm going to be more respectful, or today I'm going to focus on what I need to get done, or today, rather than focus on anything that I need to get done throughout the week, what do I have to get done today, and then also I want to try to implement something for you. It's called WIN, and that's what's important now. It's an acronym. So in order to win the day, we have to treat what's important now. We have to be able to, pretty much give our attention to what's going on right now and not what's going on in a week or a deadline in another year. Anything like that. What's going on right now that I can control, that's in my environment that I can get done. So like I said, these things will be confidential. Mm-hmm. I won't let anybody know anything. And do you have any questions for me?
No, I do not.
I would like to say I love how brave you were today. I appreciate you coming in here and being vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And obviously, Coach Curry sent you over here for a reason, and that reason is for you to get better. And we're going to take the steps and the necessary steps for you to get better. So I enjoyed working with you today, and it was a pleasure. Thank you. I can't wait to see you again.
Nice to see you, too.
Thank you.